Hey everybody, this is the Automation System Tutorial, Section 1 for Setup, Reserves, Interlibrary Loans, and also putting books on hold, and I am Lori Borg. First, setting up patrons and designators is typically done at the county level. There is access available in Destiny, but it is rare to use this option. But if you're adding a patron at the school level, the first thing you always want to do is search for the patron to make sure it doesn't already exist. Then you would select Manage Patrons, click Add New Patron, and fill in as much information as possible. You would use the student number for the identifier. Sometimes the kids call this their lunch number at my school. The patron type will determine the loan policies and controls and the functions that patrons can perform. When all the information is entered, you click Save. For editing or deleting patrons, you search for the patron to be edited, and then once the record is fine, you can either delete or edit the record, and you can also edit and delete a group of patrons. For importing patron records and associating a patron with a school, that is also accomplished at the county level. Once the student is registered, the county assigns a county-wide student identification number. This number also serves as the means to check out resources at the local schools. In Destiny, you can associate a patron with your school if they're not already. So after searching across the district for a patron, you would click Add next to the patron you want associated with your school, and then click Save. Updating and deleting patron records, that is also handled at the county level, but in order to do that, if you needed to, once a student is withdrawn from a school in the county and is registering at a school outside the county, the student number is withdrawn. Or if the student is moving from one school to another one in the same district, they keep the same identification number, and perhaps then you would have to go back and do this with associating that number with your school. Sorry about the dogs barking. Assigning passwords is done at the beginning of every year to protect the security of the student. So the county basically wipes all the passwords. And so at the beginning of the year, a media lesson is taught, and the students choose the 25 computers that are located in the media center, and they follow along with the media specialist and the prompts. So they would click on the Destiny icon, which looks like this, on the desktop, and enter their student identification number, and then when they press enter, they're prompted to reset their password. Students are asked to use the same password format in order to lessen confusion, because a lot of times with third graders and fourth and fifth graders, they forget other passwords. But if the teachers know that it's their birthday and it's in a 4-digit code format, then it is usually pretty easy to figure out what their password is. So they use the month first, and that's in a 2-digit format, and then the day in 2-digit format. So for example, July 27th would be 0727. So this is going to show you how the students can reserve books online. And the first thing they would do is go into Destiny, and they would log in, and then they could go to what we call the hamburger menu and click on Hold. This screen shows any holds that they may currently have. And then they can type in the book that they're looking for. In this case, we're going to use Wonder. And here Wonder comes up, and it is out. And so they can decide to search for a different book that they want, or maybe they still want to get Wonder and they want to be the next person to check it out. Then they would click on Wonder, and they could click the button that says Hold, and then it tells them that they received your request for the next available copy. And then when you go back to the other screen that says your current holds, it would show them that Wonder was on hold for them. For interlibrary loans, you would go to Destiny again, and you type in the name of the media specialist that would like to borrow a book or has requested a book, and then you pull up the book that they're interested in borrowing. And so at this spot, it has checked out the book, Reading Strategies to Her, and then you can put it in an envelope, and we usually send it through interoffice mail and send her that book. And then the other thing to consider is that the interlibrary loans are only done for other media specialists, never to a student. So once the book gets to her library, she has control over it, but she is responsible for it. And that was section 1. Thanks for listening.